So when a new phone comes out, it's like the greatest thing since sliced bread. Everybody gets one. You see all these exciting videos that make you think, wow, I should go get this. This is cool. All the cool kids have them. And that's been no different with the Z Flip 3. But one thing that you see, just like with all other phones, is after the fanfare is gone, not a whole lot of videos out there anymore. A lot of people have moved on, and you start hearing about all these other phones. And that's just the life cycle of any phone whenever it comes out. It's also a reason why I hang on to my phones for at least a year, because I like to be able to follow up and talk about them. I like to be able to continue to use them whenever I want, and I can still provide valuable insight to people who like to watch my videos. So, this is the Z Flip 3 after the hype. And I think it's still a good phone. And I don't want to paint a picture that I don't like it. I talked about how, yes, there are other phones that I've got to test out. I've got the Pixel 6 coming, or the Pixel 6 Pro, I don't know which one, the Surface Duo 2. My life as a reviewer is very different than you on the other side of this camera who are watching this video. Because when you get a phone, you're going to use it for a long time, a year, 2 years, 3 years, especially if you got one of those financing deals with like AT&T or T-Mobile, where it's like a 30-month agreement. I mean, this is longer than like the old 24-month contracts where you had to pay a penalty to get out of it. So you got the Z Flip 3, or you're looking at getting one, and like I said, it's been out for over a month now. The shiny new toy is gone. Is it something that's still an exciting phone? Is it something that you should pick up? Is it the right phone for you? And that's what I want to address in this video, because yes, it's cool when we see all the commercials. We see BTS and all these other guys, and they're like, oh, the Z Flip 3, it's so great. And I mean, that's not an imitation. I'm just making a funny noise there. And I think that this phone has a lot of value for a lot of people. I don't think it's gimmicky. Yes, there are concerns about the battery. I have them, but that's not something that might necessarily impact you. And I think that the phone is built well. I think that it's a really, really nice looking phone. I mean, look at this. Of course, it's got 7 different colors you can choose from. Some people are just now getting their Z Flip 3s, or still have been waiting on them because there were exclusive colors that you had to wait like 6 weeks for. So when you look at the Z Flip 3, you look at what it brings to the table. I don't want to get too much into the specs on this one because most people know them or don't care. You want to know what it's like using the phone. You want to know what the experience is like. Well, carrying it around on a day-to-day basis, it's fun. And that's not something you get on a lot of phones. I've made a lot of videos here lately talking about how much I like the iPhone 13 Pro. I still find it boring. I really enjoy being able to pull my phone out of my pocket and go like this. And I still maintain that this is the best phone out there for people who have OCD, like me. It's a completionist phone. It's one of those phones where you get to do this. And it takes away the distraction. It takes away looking at the screen. It takes away knowing that the battery is being expended because the screen is on, it's just laying out. I love being able to do that. Whatever it is inside of me, whatever it is inside of other people, it's just something that's nice and satisfying, and you just kind of get to set it off the side and forget about it. You just go like that. It's so easy. So, just a little side tangent there, but it's one of those things where this phone has a lot of appeal to a lot of people. Not only does it do those things, and it's got a beautiful screen. It's got this beautiful 120 hertz, full HD plus 6.7 inch display. And this is something that I think a lot of people can really enjoy. And it's something that we didn't get to enjoy as much on the Z Flip 3. This one's brighter. The screen is more durable. It's got this PET style different film screen protector on here that really elevates the experience because it doesn't feel gross, it doesn't feel slimy, it doesn't feel dingy. This is still the original screen protector over a month, and it has held up really, really well. So it's a nice testament to them. You also have, of course, the crease that's there in the middle of the screen. It's not going anywhere. And I've actually talked to a few people who have been like, yeah, I couldn't get over the crease, so I took it back. And some people may feel that way. So if you're not into this whole crease in the middle of your phone, you may not want to go get one. But I'm going to tell you, at least from my experience, it's not even very noticeable. Just being able to use the phone in a different way, and the fact that that's a byproduct of a screen that does this, I think it's a pretty understandable thing. I don't think a lot of people have headaches over that or a lot of heartache. I'm sure some people get it and they go, yeah, every once in a while I feel it when I scroll my finger across. And that's fair. That's somebody else's experience. That's something I want to highlight and bring to you here. That's something you could get hung up on. Now, with regard to the screen experience itself, it's really nice, and it's sharp, it's crisp, it's high detail, it's more bright than ever, so you get a better experience out in the sun. That's with the brightness all the way up. Now, it's not going to articulate very well to you on the other end of the screen because it's kind of going to dim my screen a little bit looking at that because it's so bright. But it is. It's nice and it's bright. It's great for playing games. One thing that is a little irky though, when you do play games, it's a long and thin phone because of the aspect ratio. It's not very wide compared to a traditional smartphone. So that's one of the byproducts. It may be something you don't care for when you're like watching videos because really it's more narrow than usual. If you have like an S20, you have an S10 Plus, you have a S21 that you want to switch over. This right here is more narrow, so that's one of the things. And also you got the hole punch camera that's up here, especially in a dark background. You pretty much never see it, and I think that it's okay. That's another drawback with this phone. It doesn't have the highest end cameras in the world. It has the same cameras that the Z Flip 5G had last year. So they didn't really put any extra emphasis on that because what they did this time was they redesigned it to make it look better. They gave you a bigger screen on the outside. This doesn't turn on while it's open, just so you know. While it's open, it is non-functional. You have to close it and then it works. And then you can also interact with it. You can double tap to activate it. You can swipe. You can go through your different complications that you have and look at things like the weather, personal widgets you put. I think that it's very, very improved over last year's model. I still think the Razr wins in this department because you can actually do smart replies, you can text on it, you can open up some apps. That's where I think the next one needs to go. The Z Flip 4, it needs to have a bigger screen. Now, I do like the vertical stack on the cameras. The cameras take surprisingly decent pictures. I went out and I took a whole bunch of pictures. I made a review of the Z Flip 3 camera, and I think that's one area that's been really neglected. I think a lot of people got the phone and they said, okay, these cameras, you're old, got it. We're just going to stick to the script and say, oh, the cameras could have been better. Yeah, they could have been better. Most $1,000 phone cameras are better than this, but it takes very, very good photos in most settings. Low light, you're not going to do as good. So if you like low light photography, this one won't be for you. But you also get flex mode. So flex mode is nice because when you're using it, you can have different apps that pop up on the top screen here. It makes it almost kind of like a miniature TV, but it's also great for recording stuff because, ta-da, you can use it like this. You can prop it up. It's perfect for TikTok, for Instagram Reels, Pinterest, all those different apps that do these vertical stacks, YouTube Shorts. See, look, it gives you the camera interface on the bottom, and it gives you the screen up top. Ta-da! So that's really cool, and it does that with a whole host of other things, and you can force other apps to do it if you go into the settings. So I like that. I've actually recorded some video samples that way. It's like a portable tripod. So when you get into the nuts and bolts and you start looking at this phone and you go, okay, it does normal phone stuff well, but then you bring in the extra stuff like a screen on the outside if you want to close it. That way you can get your notifications, you can see the time, you can check the weather, you can see what's going on. And then you open it, and then you get flex mode. And then you can prop it up and you realize, hey, this is great as a tripod for a camera. This is cool because I can do all these neat things where I can set it down hands-free. Also, closing it saves on the battery. Battery is a big problem with this because it's only got a 3,300 milliamp battery. That means that for heavy users, for power users like me, you're going to have to recharge it like halfway through the day. Now, there are some people out there who get all-day battery. If you follow the instructions that I did, I made another video about how to get better battery life. If you put it on dark mode, if you turn on adaptive brightness, if you mess with the Bixby routines and set up some stuff to maximize your battery life, if you turn off a couple of things, if you don't care about the 120 Hz refresh rate, I argue it should always stay on. I don't turn mine off. That's one of the reasons why you should get this phone. But there are ways you can mitigate the battery, and if you're not a heavy phone user, it's probably going to last you all the way through the day. I call it a sun-up to sundown phone. Some people, it's a sun-up to bedtime phone. It all depends on your individual use, and if you need to squeak some extra battery out of it, then you can go in and adjust those settings. It's great for a lot of things. It has its drawbacks. The price, I think, is very fair. Last year, it was $14.49. That was expensive. So to get a enhanced refresh rate, we went to the 120 Hz refresh rate. We got water resistance on it, IPX8. We got stereo speakers. We got a bigger screen on the outside. They really did a lot of stuff to make this a more exciting phone. They polished it. They refined it. and they drop the price. And of course, if you get the trade-in deal, Samsung has epic trade-in deals on most phones. And then through your carrier, there are a lot of different places you could get this phone for free if you trade in another phone. Of course, it locks you into bill credits and basically a contract at that point. But if you're a person who doesn't get a new phone every year, being able to use this for 2 or 3 years, I think is fine. How's the durability? A lot of people are concerned about that. I've even heard some people saying there's a problem with the hinge, there's a problem with the screen, there's a problem with... There are always problems whenever it comes to phones, but this isn't something that has made it to like the really high level. It's not like, hey, there's so many problems, clearly this is an issue. There's how people use it. There's how people carry it. Did they drop it? Is there just a manufacturer defect with it? And that's where the warranty comes into play. That's where insurance comes into play. You get a 1-year manufacturer's warranty. If the hinge fails on you, they're going to replace it or fix it. It's not like, oh, I'm screwed. That's not how phones work. There's this whole thing called a warranty. So if you have the warranty, and then if you got it through Samsung and got that 1-year free insurance, yeah, it makes it one of those things where you don't have to worry about it so much. I mean, these things will do this forever and ever and ever. I have no concerns about it. Now, if you sit there and you try and fling it like a boomerang to open the screen up, yeah, you're going to put extra stress and strain on it needlessly. So take care of it. Make sure you have the insurance. That's going to mitigate a lot of your concern. And just enjoy the phone. This is one of those phones that's fun. I've talked to so many people and they buy it and they're like, yeah, there are some drawbacks. Yeah, the battery's not the greatest. Yeah, it doesn't have a Quad HD Plus screen. There are some things on here where you're like, yeah, it could be a little bit better for $1,000, but what you're getting is this. And it's fun and it's enjoyable, and you can sit there and fidget with it. And you can do whatever. It's just a neat little thing, plus you get the available, the extra portability because it's half the size of a normal phone. It goes in your pocket easier, goes in your purse easier. It's just a neat thing. And hey, ladies, if you want to put your makeup on, you can pop it up and you can have a look at it while you're working on it. So, I mean, there are just different ways that you can interact with this. It's great, perfect for Zoom and Duo calls. You just set it down and use the camera, and you can adjust it, pan and tilt it however you want. Your imagination and what you do with it on a day-to-day basis is going to allow you to bring the most out of the phone and the most enjoyment for you. And by and large, I think from the feedback that I've received, a lot of people really love it. I love this phone. I can't wait till I get done reviewing these other phones so I can put a SIM card back in it and rotate it through my daily carry again. It's one of those things where, yeah, I enjoy what the iPhone brings to the table. Yeah, I enjoy what I get when I have the Z Fold 3, but there's just something nice and enjoyable and refreshing about this phone. So, yeah, I think it has merit. I think it has value. I think if you're looking to pick one up, if you look at this phone and go, yeah, that looks like something I like. That's me. That's my phone right there. If it's appealing to you, I think it's something you're going to enjoy. I'm not here to convince people who don't want the phone to go buy it. I'm not here to convince anyone to buy it. I'm just here to give you the insight that I have from having used this phone for over a month. It's been over a month now, and I was making other videos, so I didn't make a 1-month review. I'll make a follow-up review here later, but I got to thinking, I want to talk about this phone and let people know these are some things to think about. This is kind of what it's like. These are the things that I've heard. These are the observations that I've had while using it that could benefit somebody if they're trying to learn about the Z Flip 3. So if you came here to learn about the Z Flip 3, is it the right phone for you? I think that it can be. I think if you're interested, you're probably going to like it. Do yourself a favor. Go to the store. Go to AT&T. Go to Best Buy. Go to any of these phone stores that carry it. Have a look at it in person. You can get your hands on it. You can touch it. You can feel it. Make sure you use some hand sanitizer afterwards because these public displays they're just chock full of germs. But go look at it. You're in a position likely where if you can spend $1,000 on a phone, you can get yourself to the store to go look at one before you buy it. And then you can make a really good informed decision. You've looked at it. You've reviewed it online. You've watched videos like this one and go see it in person and then get your hands on it and go, yeah, I could see myself using this. Yes, this is the validation that I needed. So it's okay to like this phone. It's okay if people don't like this phone. Not everyone is going to like every phone, and that's the beauty of smartphones. There's so many phones out there for everybody. Are you a Fold person? Are you a Pixel person? Are you an iPhone person? Yeah, that kind of dwindles by the year, it seems. We lost LG. There's a lot of other phone brands that just aren't prominent like they used to be. It's one of those things that kind of sucks. Competition, there are a lot of things, and then as people figure out what they like and these companies rise to the top, that whittles down. But Samsung makes some darn good devices. It's running the latest Android. I love One UI. It's the most fun for me when using an Android phone. Even with the Pixel phones, they're so stock and basic. I find them kind of boring like the iPhone too. I really enjoy Samsung. Samsungs are largely my favorite phone to use in the modern era, outside of, of course, Blackberries. Those are my ultimate favorite. But there hasn't been a new one of those in 3 years. This one right here, it's a really cool phone, and I like it. And I hope that if you pick one up, then you like it too. And if you don't, take it back. You can do that. Yeah, you can take it back if you don't like it. So anyway, again, not a salesman at all by any stretch of the imagination. But I like to be an ambassador for this phone because it's something I like personally, and I like to give my insight and information out there to people who are looking for it. If this has been helpful, I hope that it has. And if it has, hit the like button. Maybe hit the subscribe button too. You can catch up on other videos that I make. I put out videos every single day, sometimes more than one a day if I'm feeling froggy. It happens. So that's all I've got. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please sound off in the comment section. I'll get back with you. I already made my sales pitch. If you enjoy it, hit the like button. If not, I'm sorry it wasn't what you were looking for, but thanks for watching. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.